Good evening, StreamYard and YouTube fans. And no, I have not been on vacation. I just haven't had a chance to get on so that I can do my 500th episode. I figure this will take me about hour and a half to 2 hours. As you see, we will be playing Apba baseball, and we'll be playing Apba baseball. We've got Gary Nolan pitching for the Reds. We've got the 2016 Cubs. Travis Woods is pitching for the Chicago Cubs. And we've got the 76 Reds starting with Rose. We will be using 3 dice tonight. We will be using your standard issue Apba dice. We've got your large standard Apba dice. And then finally, we've got your red and white dice kind of block. So we will read the Apba dice first, the larger Apba dice second, and the block dice kind of third. This way, this is kind of something I've learned from Apba Brian. The idea of this way, what I'm doing is I'm rolling aside. In all premises, most of your rolls, if you do this, should be, one side. That's if everybody goes down 1, 2, 3. Of course, we may have to re-roll if we get beyond 3 batters. But the idea is rolling 6 dice to account for 3 batters. The other thing I got to remember is when I roll the dice, if it's like, and I'll show you this. If it's like, and as you see, Chris is on in the chat room. Well, not chat room, but he's in the chat area, making a comment, posting a comment. I'm just getting started, Chris. I'm kind of showing the fact that I'm going to be rolling 3 dice instead of just 2 dice for this game. We've got the 2016 Cubs versus the 1976 Reds. And this, my friends, is a replay of the very, very first game that I ever played on that I ever played, that I ever did for my channel. I figured it was only right to do this, to go back and to go Apba Way Back. I am going to talk about an idea and probably my 3rd channel, which is going to be dealing with what I call quantum baseball. And when the Reds get up to bat, I will explain that. And the reason I say that is because the Cubs are trying to change history, because originally the Reds won this. So the Cubs are trying to change history, and the Reds are trying to preserve history. And I'll talk about that more when the Reds get up to bat because it will affect the dice outcome. Uh, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to tell you the lineups for the Cubs. We've got Fowler, Hayward, Bryant, Rizzo, Zobrist, Soler, Russell, Montero. For the Reds, we've got Rose, Griffey, Morgan, Foster, Bench, Perez, Geronimo, and Concepcion. You'll also note that I don't know, but ever since I saw that seventh inning, seven inning history maker baseball, I really like the idea of the pitchers not batting. So basically, only the 8 position players are batting. Uh, that way, I think you can get rid of. I wish they'd actually institute this in baseball because to me, it's a way to get rid of the DH in baseball and speed the game up that much further. Now, will they do it? Probably not, but that's my way of speeding up the game. And the other thing I do to speed up the idea of the cards and dice portion is I'm taking a little a little bit from Apba and rolling 6 dice instead of 2 dice, and that may cut down on the on time a little bit. We'll see. I'm not sure on that, but we're going to go down and we're going to get things started here. All right. Okay. Gary Nolan is our pitcher. William Fowler is the batter. Also, kind of up is Jason Hayward and Christopher Bryant. So those are the 3 batters for the first roll. So Fowler gets a 62. Hayward will get a 33. Oh, I'm sorry. And then Bryant gets a 36. Now, if someone's roll isn't finished on the 1 dice, I will go to the next dice, and that's one of the reasons why I say that in a perfect world, I could roll 3 dice and get through this, but not always. So Fowler gets a 62. That is a 13, and Fowler strikes out. We start the game with a K. Hayward gets a 33, which means we're going to be using the 3rd set of dice here. And we're going to the 2nd column. So 33 is going to the 2nd column, which we go to the 36. And this is a 6. Nolan is a C pitcher. And this will be a double to right center. So Hayward gets a double to right center. And that will bring Bryant to the mound. Oh, and just so you know, I did add up the for the fielding, and both teams are fielding one. Uh, the Cubs are 44, and the Reds are 43. So both teams are over in the fielding one section. So let us continue on. So we've got a 14 for Bryant. That is a 30 with one man at second. That will be a fly out to left, and the runner will stay at second. That will bring up Rizzo. Rizzo is a 32 here. And that will be a fly out to right field, and that will be the end of the first inning. So the Reds have a relatively calm first inning with the Cubs. The Cubs did get one runner on base, but they left him there, and they did strike out Fowler, the very first batter. And that will put Zobrist up in the top of the second. We now go to the bottom of the first. Your first free batters are Rose, Griffey, and Morgan. Now, normally, and I'm going to explain my idea of Quantumball here because I'm going to use it for the first 3 innings of this game. Normally, you would read this 1-4, but that's not the case in Quantumball. In Quantumball, you reverse the order of the dice. The white dice are now the 10s, and the red dice are now the 1s. So with the 14, that would be 41, and with the 32, that would be a 23, and with that 65, it would be a 56. And I'm going to do this for the first 3 innings to kind of show you what it says first, what it normally says, and then what it would say for Quantumball and that. And it's good to see Dwayne Martz. Dwayne is in the house. Check out his channel. It's a great channel. I mean, I know that he's been doing. He does red, white, and blue racing, and he's been doing 61 replay of the 61 Yankees, I believe it is. So let us go down, and we'll roll for Rose, Griffey, and Morgan. All right. Yep. Okay, now normally Rose here would be a 34, which would be a 31, and that would be a fly out to center field. But we're reading this for the first 3 innings. We're going to read this as a 43, and 43 on Rose's a 43 on Rose's card is a 29, and that is out at first, and that's basically 1, 2, 3. Basically pitcher to first baseman. So either way, Rose is out. Griffey is a 63. Normally, he'd be a 31 here, and that would be a fly out to center field. But we're rating this as a 36, and that's a 14, and that is going to be base on balls. And Woods does not have a ZZ modifier, so that will be Griffey gets a walk here. And here's where this is simple, because Morgan here gets a 55. Either way, that's a 55, and that is an 8. And we've got a runner at first, and Woods is a grade B pitcher. And that is out at first, runner to second. So that is 5-3, and Griffey goes to second. And that will bring up Foster. And now we re-roll the dice. Okay. Foster gets a 55. That is an 8. And Woods is a great B pitcher. That is an out at first. So that would be pitcher to first baseman. And the Reds, even though we're reading the quantum dice, basically, the Reds went 4 and the Cubs went 4, and nobody got on. Right. This will bring up Zobrist. That is 12, and we're looking at a 25 for Zobrist. The base is empty. That's going to be an out at first. Nolan is ZZ's, but that doesn't affect. That does not affect the outcome. It's still second to first here. That's 4-3. Zolaire comes up, and we are looking at a 24 for Zolaire, and that will be a strikeout. That's the second strikeout of the game. And Russell is a 53 here, and that is an 18. And that will be, this will be an error on the shortstop. So that is an E4, which will bring up Montero, and we will have to re-roll for Montero. 44 for Montero. That is an 8 with a batter at first. And Gary Nolan is a C pitcher. It's a single to center, runner to second, and the runner goes to third on the very next pitch. I'm assuming that would be considered the idea of a stolen base there. Montero gets a single. Russell goes to third. And we are back to the top of the inning. And right now we have runners at first and third there. Fowler is up. Let me see something here. Yeah. So Fowler has a 42. And that is a 14. We've got runners at first and third. And yeah, this will load the bases up. Bases will be loaded with cubbies. Okay. And Haywood gets a 41. The base is loaded. And that is a 24. This says CDP, runner out at home, batter out at first, assist shortstop, put out catcher, assist catcher, put out first base, double. So this is a double play, and that basically is the end of the inning. So I'm just going to put double play here, and that's pretty much the end of the inning. Got one. We basically had one hit and 3 left on base here. Bryant will be up first. Still no score. The Reds are up. Bench is up to the plate. All right. All right. Normally, like I said, we would read this red first and white second, but for tonight, for the first 3 innings, we're reading this white first, and this is the idea of my Quantumball. So 46, bench will get the Reds' first strikeout of the game. Perez is 52. Well, normally it's 52. It's 25 here. And that will be an 8. And the bases are empty. And Woods is a great B pitcher, so this would be a fly out to center field. Which brings up Geronimo. And for this particular at-bat, he is a 14, and that is 30. And that will be a fly out to left field. Okay, that will take us to Brian. Yeah, that will take us to Brian. All right. Bryant is a 42, which is a 14. So Bryant will walk. Rizzo is up, and that's a 43, which is a 29 with man at first. Out at first, so pitcher to first baseman. And Bryant will go to second. Okay. Zobrist gets a 26, and that's a 13, and that will be a strikeout, which brings up Soler. We will re-roll the dice. Um, 53 for Soler, and that is a 16 with man at second. Single to center, runner. Yeah. Single to center, runner out at home, batter to second on throw. That's center field to catcher. So Bryant is out at home. And that's, well, so that's basically the end of the inning, because that means there is no single. So with that out at home, because Rizzo was put out, Zobrist struck out, so that is basically that's pretty much the out at home. That's basically center field to catcher is you're out, and that is the end of the inning there. So no hits there. Well, actually, it is. He will get a single, so we'll give him credit for a single there. When we go to we'll go to the bottom of the third, and the Reds are due up here. Concepcion in the beginning of the order. We've got a 63 for Concepcion, and that will be a 31 with the bases empty. That will be a fly out to center field for Concepcion. 54 for, and we go back to Rose here. $54 for Rose. That's going to be a 32. And that will be a fly out to right. Griffey is up, and that is basically, let's see, that goes to the second column, and we will have to re-roll here. Hope the Reds hope for something good. They get Griffey gets a 33 here. So, and that will be a home. That, my friends, if you look at that, if you look at that, 33 is in the second column is a home run. So Griffey will get a home run there. Right, and Morgan will come up to the plate. We're at 22 with Morgan, and that is go to the second column. 35, because we're reading it backwards. 35 will be a 5, and the bases are empty. Woods is a grade B pitcher. That will be a double over first for Morgan. It's going to be a double for Morgan. And we will re-roll for Foster. This will be 62 for Foster, and that will be a strikeout. That puts 2 away. Bench will be up. 63 for Bench, and that will be a strikeout. 2 strikeouts, and that will end the inning. Or wait. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. Bench, when Foster struck out, that was the end of the inning because Concepcion flied to center, Rose flied to right, Griffey got a home run, Morgan got a double, Foster struck out. So Bench will start the 4th inning, and it is 1-0 in favor of the Reds. And basically they got 2 hits there. And Russell is up for the Cubs in the top of the 4th. $16 for Russell, and that will be a 28 with the bases loaded. Not with the bases empty. That will be a shortstop to first base. It's going to be a 4-3 put out. Montero up, and that's going to be 24, and that will be a strikeout. Montero will strike out. And that puts Fowler back up. Fowler back up, and that is a 51-9. Nolan is a C pitcher, and that will be a fly out to the third baseman. 3 up, 3 down, and the Cubs still have not been able to get anybody on. Well, I mean, they've gotten people on, but they haven't been able to score. And it looks like we have a guest. I did add Rick to the channel, as you see, but I don't see Rick. Where are you, Rick?
I'm here.
Good to see you, Rick. How's it going?
Doing good.
Oh, I'm sorry. My sound went down. I couldn't hear you.
I said I'm doing fine. How are you?
I'm doing good. This is trying to show a little bit of my idea of what quantum ball is, which is reading the dice backwards, so the results are like different, you know.
Right?
And it's the idea that like say you're doing the trying to replay the '61 season with the Yankees and that.
Right.
That
Right.
means every time that the Yankees would come up to the plate, you'd read the white dice first and then the red dice, because the team that they're they're playing against is trying to change history, so
Right.
so to speak. And the idea or the principle behind this is the idea that Sam Mayday Balone somehow got sent back in time, and he's trying to right the wrongs of past sporting events and
Right.
that. For instance, like for instance that I came up with is the idea that most people don't really know that Secretariat didn't win by 18 lengths at the Belmont when he rounded the home stretch there. His leg gave out, and it was one of the most tragic sporting events in horse racing history. They had to put Secretariat down. And I mean, I could come up with dozens of scenarios like this. The idea of Roger
Right.
Maris, he never hit 61 home runs. What happened is on the day that the last game of the season, he got sick, and as a result, they put Mickey Mantle in his spot in the lineup, and Mickey Mantle wound up getting the 61 home runs.
Wow.
But those are things that I come up with. I mean, that you can come up with in that.
Sure.
Have you tried the Immaculate Grid
I have not.
on ESPN? That's really interesting. They'll have like two teams on one side and two teams at the top, and it's like um, the idea of uh, it like might be Braves and Cubs, and then at the top it might be Reds and Yankees, and it's the idea of which player played for the A's, and then like the Yankees type thing, and then they have some stuff on the side like most valuable player or the idea of no hitters type thing on the bottom,
Ah,
and you had to try to figure it figure it out. They got it for baseball, they got it for basketball, they've got it for football, and I think they just released it for hockey as well.
let's take a look.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. So far, we're going to the top of the fifth inning.
It's still 1-0, right?
Yeah, it's. Wait a minute. I'm sorry. We're going to the bottom of the fourth inning. Bench is up, and it's one to nothing.
Yeah, because of Griffey.
Griffey got it so
Yeah.
far. The only hit. I mean, the only run so far was by Griffey. It was a home run. So, and as you'll see here, benches. We've got Bench, Perez, and Geronimo up at the plate for the bottom of the fourth inning here.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with APBA at all. I've never played it. I've only seen the ads.
Ah. Ah. Okay. Now, what I'm doing is I'm reading the I'm reading the Apba dice first, then I'm reading the larger Apba dice, and then I'm reading those block dice last.
Right. So you're doing basically potentially 3 batters at a time.
Right. Exactly. Trying to shorten it that way. And if a say say like one possession says foul ball, and I started with and that was like the top dice, I would go to the next dice to continue on with that batter's at bat. Um, so basically, I roll until a batter is either out or until he walks or something, some sort of end outcome comes out.
Right.
And I'm having a very difficult time because I'll have to show this to you. I recently broke one of my tripods, so I have to use a shortened tripod. I did order some new ones, but I haven't gotten them yet.
Have you thought about stacking that on top of some books?
I actually got.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's kind of what I've done. And the big thing is there we go. It just okay. I think I rolled the dice already.
You did.
And so we're at bench. And the first 3 innings, I was reading the white die first, but we've come back to regular reading of the dice. So it's a 53 this at bat, and that is a 19 with the bases empty. And that'll be an error on the third baseman. That will be our second error of the game. And that brings up Perez. He's got a 23, and that will be a 26 with a man at first. It says batter safe at first, fielder's choice, runner out at second. That was second to shortstop. Okay, and that will bring up Geronimo. And he's got the 12. And that is a 25 with the man at first. Well, that says double play, so I'm just going to leave it as double play, and that's basically going to be the end of the inning for the Reds. Concepcion will be up in the bottom of the 5th. No hits that inning for the Red. Hayward is up for the Cubs.
Jay Hay.
Hey. Oh. And we get a blank. And the next dice says 54, which is an 11 for Haywood. And Nolan is a C. That will be a single to left batter steals second on first pitch to next batter, 1 strike on next batter. So basically, Haywood gets to second. We'll get to second over there. All right, so the
tying runs at second.
Yeah, Haywood's at second. I'm trying to figure out, that was 54. Okay, yeah. So Bryant is 52, and that's 27 with a man at second. And that is an out at first.
Does a runner move?
It says runner holds. So the runner will hold. Second. Bryant is out at first. And that's a 5-3 put out. Fowler's out, so that's 2 outs. That brings up Rizzo. And I believe we re-roll. Oh. Okay. 53 for Rizzo is a 20. The runner on at second. It says single through second, runner to third. Okay. So we've got runners on second and third for the Cubs. Zobrist is up, and he gets a 46, and that is going to be a strikeout. So that will be the end of the inning there. So the Cubs managed to get 2 hits, but can't get anybody across. Okay.
Well, I would love to hang out and watch the rest of the game, but I've got to get back to yard work.
Oh, have fun with the yard work.
No, fun is not the word I'm thinking of.
Well, hey, get the lower, slower board gamer to help you out. He's Mr. President.
Yeah.
That's a presidential job.
That's right. I'll talk to you later.
Take care.
Have a good one. Bye.
Bye. All right. We have Concepcion up and Concepcion is up, and I don't know if I rolled the dice or not. I think I didn't, so I'm gonna re-roll. I apologize if I had rolled. This is a 13 for Concepcion, and that will be a walk. Concepcion will get a walk for the. Okay. Rose is up. And he gets a 56, and that is a walk. So we've got 2 men on. Griffey is up, and that is a 41, and that's 28 with runners at first and second. And he's a 28. It's double play, runner to third. So Concepcion is at third. That brings up Morgan. Okay. Yeah. So we have to re-roll our dice here. So we've got 34 for Morgan here. And that will be a 31 with a runner at third. Runner at third. And 31. That will be a fly out to center field. And that will be the end of the inning. Now we'll put Foster up next. Soler is up here at the start of the 6th inning for the Cubs. .56 for Soler. That's going to be a 34. That will be a fly out to the shortstop. Russell gets a 26, and that will be a strikeout. Montero is up. He gets a 21, and that is also a strikeout. So I'm going to total this up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Nolan has 7 strikeouts after 6 innings, and Woods has 2. And Foster is up at the plate. .53 for Foster, and that's going to be a 15. That will be a fly out the left. Brings up Bench. 43 will be a 29. And that will be pitcher to first baseman. That will be a 1-3 out. Perez gets a 15, and that will be an 8. And Woods is a B pitcher, and that will be a fly out to center. And this will take us to the 7th inning. So far, the big event so far with this game has been Griffey's home run in the 3rd. Everything else, the other big story is Ryan had, no, not Ryan, but Nolan has 7 strikeouts in 6 innings. So he's been pitching very, very well. And we're at the top of the Cubs lineup. Because Nolan is doing well, of course, the Reds are going to keep him in. Right, Fowler gets a 21, and that will be a strikeout. That's Nolan's 3rd strikeout in a row. Haywood comes up, and he gets a 25. That will be a 9. And Nolan is a C pitcher. And that will be a fly out to 3rd. Bryant comes up, and that will be a 12, and that is a strikeout. And that will take us to the bottom of the 7th with Geronimo up at the plate. And it's a shame Chris isn't here because we would have him sing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game." But I'm no singer. I'm not going to do that. But you know, the home team doesn't win. It's a shame. And right now the home team is winning, but they're hanging on by the skin of their teeth. It is a 1-0 ball game. And Griffey is the recipient of the 1 run. He got a home run in the bottom of the 3rd. We are now in the bottom of the 7th. Geronimo is up. And let's see if the Reds can hang on or not. Okay. Let's see if the Reds can hang on. And Geronimo is up. All right. Okay, Geronimo gets a 35, which is a 9. And Woods is a B pitcher. That will be a single over short. So Geronimo gets on. Concepcion is the next batter. Concepcion is the next batter. He gets a 56, and that will be a strikeout, which brings up Rose. 14 for Rose, and that is a 30 with one man on. And that will be a fly out to left field. And the runner holds. That's a fly out to left. Okay. That will bring up Griffey. And we will re-roll for Griffey. 42 for Griffey. That is a 9 with a man at first. And Woods is a big pitcher. That's a single over second. Oh, that's on second base. Our runner is at first base. It says single. Beats out infield hit. Runner to second. So Griffey will get a single here. That will move Geronimo to second. So we got runners at first and second. Okay. Morgan gets a 65, which is a 35 with runners at first and second. Woods is, and that's a 35. Foul out to the catcher, and he is not a W pitcher, so that's just a foul out to the catcher. And with that foul out, that is the end of the inning. Okay. Foster will be up first next in at the bottom of the eighth. Right now we've got Rizzo at the top of the eighth inning for the Cubs. Nolan is still pitching. 43 for Rizzo, and that's a 29. The base is empty. And that will be pitcher to first baseman. That's going to be 4-3. Zobrist is up. 45. That's a 14. That's going to be a walk. Soler is a 55. And that will be an 8. And Nolan is... We got a runner at first. 8. And that will be single to center, runner to second, and he gets to third. So we got, that's a single. Soler will go to third, and that puts Russell up. And we have to re-roll. $33 will be a 6 with runners at first and second. First and second. And Nolan is a C. It says double to left center, runner scores. Okay. So the person at second scores. The runner on first is out at home, and so Zobrist will score. The runner at. Okay, wait a minute. My runners are at first and third, and that is a 6. I believe it's. Wait a minute. Okay. Yeah, it's a 6, and Nolan's a C pitcher. That's going to be a double, and it clears the bases. Russell will get a double here, and it clears the bases. So the Cubs take a 2-1 lead. And Montero is up. And he got a 23, and it's a 12 with nobody, with runner at second. 12. And Nolan's a C pitcher. 12 is, yeah, that's going to be a strikeout for Ryan. That's going to be it's going to be second out of the inning. Okay. And that takes us to 51, and that is Fowler. There is runner at second, 1 man, 2 out, runner at second. 51 for Fowler will be a 9. And that will be out at first, runner to third. So that's going to basically be put out by the first baseman. And that will end the inning, but the Cubs will score 2 runs in this top of the 8th, and they will take the lead. The link's still up there. It's just scrolled down. It's still up there, Chris. See, there's the link. If you wanted to come in and say, hey, there's the link. But we're going to the bottom of the 8th, and Foster is up, and the Reds need 1 to tie and 2 to go ahead here. And that will be a 61 for Foster, which is 40. And that will be a foul. And so we go to 12, and that will be a 25. And that will be 4-3 put out. And that will bring up bench. And bench gets a 41 here. And that will be a 24. And that will be a 4-3 put out as well. And we get Perez. We will re-roll. We get a 65 for Perez, and that is a 35 with, that will be a ground out first, and that's 3 up and 3 down. And Haywood is up for the Cubs, and they've got to try to make something happen. Their Reds are going to keep in Ryan because he's been doing really, really good. 54 for Haywood. That's going to be a 32. And that'd be a fly out to right field. Bryant is a 31. And that will be a 9. And Nolan is a C. That will be a fly out to third. And that brings up Rizzo. And he is 54, and that will be a 32. And that will be a fly out to right field as well. Hey, Durrell, good to see you, man.
What up, sir? How we doing?
All right, all right. You're catching us at the very end of the ball game. The Reds are getting ready for their last at bat. I say, well, possibly last at bat. The Cubs scored 2 in the top of the 8th to go ahead, and the only run by the Reds is a Griffey home run in the 3rd inning.
Okay.
And I also talked about what I call as Quantumball, and I'll show you what I mean by that.
Because I was getting ready to ask, what is that?
Basically, when you look at the dice, you see how that small dice says 31?
Yeah.
Well, a Quantumball, you read the white die first and then the red dice.
Okay.
That changes the outcome on the chart. So what may be like a double might be, ground out to the pitcher type thing.
Okay.
And it's just something when I was thinking about it, I just thought it was neat.
Yeah.
Because the idea you can go back, it's the idea of sending somebody back in time to right the wrongs of sports history. Like the fact that Maris really didn't hit 61 home runs. He on the last day of the season he got sick. They put Mantle in his spot on the lineup, and he wound up winning. He wound up getting 60 home runs that year.
Jeez.
Did you check out my last outline that I sent you?
No, I didn't see it.
Oh,
I'm gonna look right now.
It's about move confidence in Christ.
Okay, let me look right now.
And when you come back, I'll when you look at it, I'll tell you a little bit more. But right now, we've got Geronimo at the plate. I'm gonna switch cameras here. We're gonna go to Geronimo. All right, let us roll for Geronimo. Okay, Geronimo gets a 32, which is a 26. And that will be a 4-3 put out. Concepcion gets a 63. Concepcion gets a 63, which is a 31. And that's going to be a fly out to center field. And that brings up Rose to the plate. And okay. That's a 26 for Rose, which will be a 12. And that is out at first.
I see.
5-3. And that, my friends, is the end of the game. And the Reds do not make a comeback. The Cubs hold on to win this one. So they actually do change history. But they changed it after the first 3 innings. Because reading it backwards actually gave Griffey a home run. So you see what?
I see the let go and let God becoming a new creation. I see that one.
This one would have been sent by messenger.
Oh, okay. No. I have an open messenger. Okay, let me go. I got to go to messenger.
Yeah, this one would have been in messenger.
Okay, let me go there.
Yeah, but the Cubs had 7 hits. The Reds had 4 hits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Nolan had 10 strikeouts, even though he got the loss. He got 10 strikeouts. Woods had 3 strikeouts. We had 2 errors in the game, 1 for each side. So our box score is Cubs 2 runs, 7 hits, 1 error. Reds 1 run, 4 hits, and 1 error. And are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, okay. I couldn't tell if my camera froze. Your camera froze up?
No. It was a handwritten outline.
Yes.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, and it's 2 pictures.
No, I only have one.
It should be. Let me see.
I have one from the 8th that was handwritten. And then I have one. I have a further up. I have a
Let me
screenshot.
check your messenger here,
Because I deactivated Facebook, but I kept Messenger.
Hey, Chris, good to see you.
Good
What's
evening,
up, Chris?
buddy. How's it going?
Going great.
Well, you'd like to hear I just rolled a game of Strat while you were playing in 79 NL replay, and the Reds beat the Cardinals 7-2. Big line is George Foster, 3 for 5 with a runner ribby, 2 doubles, and a triple. Tom Heaton distance. So, yeah, Reds got it on this end, baby. I got your back.
Oh, that's good. Well, I mean, the Cubs did what I kind of wanted them to do, and that's the idea of rectify things from the very first time.
Yep.
I'm sorry, Darrell. I didn't. I thought I did. I didn't. I apologize. I will
No
send
worries.
that to you. I will send that to you, and give me 2 seconds here.
No problem. You can email it to me. That's all good.
There it is, dude.
Got it.
Yeah, and the reason why I wanted you to take a look at that is that's probably going to be my next book.
Come on.
Yeah, that's going to probably be. So I want to tell you, Chris, I like your Mr. President game. That's good. I haven't really watched a lot of them.
It's not an easy watch because it's kind of a heavy game, but yeah, I love this thing. It's sit down, set it up, leave it on a huge table space for days, and come back to it.
Well, I wanted to tell you, and I think I did mention it. You should try the play game version of it, which is Mr. President. We have a problem.
Yeah, I saw it. It looks like a cool little game. I haven't.
That looks Marco.
Yeah, Scola or whatever his name is. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He showed it, and it's really good. And Steve Towers done one, and I know Clay's done one in that. But yeah, my next thing here is after I finish. My next thing is to finish the Fast Drive Football Season 2. I've got the USA Conference Championship and the International Conference Championship. Unfortunately, Chris, your team was in last place.
All I know is I ain't got no team that's named no camels.
Istanbul.
Sorry.
Hey, I thought it was great. But next time I plan on doing what I want to do is 16 teams, 8 pro teams, and eight of the fictional teams, and same kind of thing where it's US for the first 8. It'll be broken down like USA and international, and then the pros will be like kind of north and south or east and west type thing.
Yeah.
And that. And after I finish those 3 games, I've got a request by John Wise, one of my friends from California, to do some History Maker baseball. Because that's what he wants to learn. He wants to learn some History Maker baseball.
History Maker baseball is a fun way to play baseball. I really did enjoy it while I had. Yep.
That's a game I really like. And that it's next to Strat. It's probably the second best baseball game out there. No offense to RJL or anything like that, but it's just, for me, History Maker baseball is easier.
Oh, yeah.
I have a hard time with the only thing I have a hard time with on inside pitch is the idea of running and stealing bases.
There's a lot to it, and you've got to have that chart set up as a flow chart, so I start here, I go here, I go here. Okay, now I go here, or you've got to have it written out, or you can get lost.
And I'll say this: I give kudos to RJL because he does a great job with his inside pitch games
Yeah.
and that. And I give kudos to him on that. That's great. This game tonight is a tribute to Apba Bryan. He recently said that he was taking like time off or something like that. So for me, this is a tribute to Apba Bryan and that. And I wanted to basically go back and redo my first game and see if I could get a different outcome, and I did.
Oh yeah, it's always fun revisiting stuff like that. It is.
And then I came up with the idea of Quantumball, the idea of reading the dice backwards or something like that. And I found out that I could do it with like Appa Baseball. I can do it with Dice United 2. I can do it with Stone Cold Hockey and that.
Quantum Sports.
Yeah, it'll be Quantum Sports. So it'll be QS. Probably, I had thought of QWSN, basically the Quantum What If Sports Network.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be my third channel when I get to it.
No, that's cool, man. Whatever keeps you happy and playing games.
I'm waiting on some cards to come. Because what I want to do is I want to start that with the 1919 World Series. Our friend Sam Mayday Malone went back in time to see if he could rectify the fact that Shoeless Joe Jackson didn't get a home run to win the.
You kidding? He's going to be the one that's going to be in on the fix the most.
But yeah.
He's going to win a bar out of the whole thing. Probably make a TV show.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Win the lottery. Oh, wait a minute. They didn't have the lottery back in 1919, did they?
Not that kind of lottery.
Yeah. But yeah, I have watched a little bit of your Mr. President. I really like it in that. I hate to say it, I have seen you play like the war games, like ID Jester and the guys that come in on the war gaming zone and stuff like that. His war gaming thing. I'm not one that can get into something like that.
It's not everybody has. Yeah. Everybody's got a cup of tea,
I do think the next time I get a game, I might get that, Mr. President. We have a problem because it's a version of what it's an inexpensive version of what you have.
Well, not inexpensive, but it's chewed down, a little more manageable bite.
Right,
mm-hmm.
and actually, the one person that I saw almost, got to the very end and actually almost won. They didn't, but they almost did.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to duck out. I wanted to stop in and say congratulations on 500, Philip. Darrell, nice to meet you, man.
Nice to meet you, man.
Yeah, he actually helped me. Me and him were we're teamed up as writing partners.
Oh, cool, good.
He's my writing.
You've always got to have a good editor who can organize the thoughts that come out of the brain.
Not my editor, but
we'll just pass off ideas of what books we're working on and writing, and
well, that's cool. Good.
So he just sent me notes from the book he's doing now, and I'm gonna send him
I just sent
the
him my
devotional stuff I'm doing.
Outline of a book that I plan on writing.
Yeah.
Confidence.
Awesome.
I need to get some.
You guys have a good evening. I'm gonna get.
Take care.
You too, man. Take care.
Yep. See you guys later.
Take care.
All right.
All right, Darrell. Well, I am going to get out of here.
All right.
I'm right at about where I wanted to be, which is about an hour and a half.
Yeah.
It did take me a little bit less time by doing the dice the way I did, meaning rolling enough for one side. So that was nice.
Good deal.
I mean, and the other thing is, of course, me. I tend to talk a lot, so that
Look, we both do.
yeah.
That's nothing new for us.
But you take care, man.
Yes,
guys,
sir.
this has been my 500
Yes, sir.
episode, my 500th episode.
500. Come on.
Great time, guys. I have to thank Rick for stopping in. He was he's the one that led my inside pitch league that I was in back a couple years ago.
Oh, nice.
When COVID hit back in 2020.
Okay.
And I really enjoyed that. And good to see Dwayne stopped in. My friend John, who I said wants to learn History Maker Baseball, he is at the Play.con event. Lucky dude. I would love to go to one of those. I just can't afford one of those right now.
Not yet.
It's out of my budget. But and the other thing is I can't get anything new until I get my finances under control. So
it's
what
coming.
I have is what I got for now.
Exactly.
I did get a couple new items. So after I finish the FC Cincinnati season, what I think I'm going to do is play FC Cincinnati versus the English Premier League and see how that goes.
Okay.
And what I plan on doing with that is one game will be at home, one game will be away, and one game will be at a neutral site. So every third game, the first, basically, game 1 and 4 will be at like home. 2 and 5 will be at away, and 3 and 6 will be on a neutral site.
Yeah.
And we will be using my advanced locker room settings for playing when that comes about. For playing that. The Stone Cold Hockey has a thing called a locker room check, and what I did is I enhanced it, and so I came up with my own advanced locker room checks, and I've been what I did is I got halfway through the season of the current FC Cincinnati season, and then I switched over to my advanced locker room checks.
Okay.
I haven't done that with hockey yet because I'm still not halfway through the season. I'm only in week like 7 or 8. But I plan on getting. I'll eventually get there. I just haven't gotten there.
I haven't gotten there yet.
But
it's all a process.
Check out that outline. Let me know what you think, because we do need to talk about that, because I need to learn how to format so that I can create my book.
Okay. I'm gonna look at.
I really don't know. I mean, I'd have to talk to Tia or Talia or somebody, because I don't know how to format. I mean, I know how to use Word, but I don't know how to format it so that it's book format.
We could talk offline, but I always
somebody gave me an Amazon link for creating your book, and that, but I have not really looked at it yet or anything like that.
Okay. Normally you put it in Word, and then when I get ready to do the publishing part, it'll format itself. Depending on wherever you decide to do your printing from.
I mean,
or if you do it just electronic.
I have books here at the house that I could show you that this is how I want it to look.
Yeah.
This is the kind of format and style I want to have.
Okay.
When it's all printed out.
Okay.
But with my next book, it's called Move, Men of Valor Excel, and then Confidence in Christ. And I talked about this after my first book.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going back 3-4 years.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
I just wrote this outline like 2-3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Okay.
and it's one of those, I'm listening to live praise and worship music, and then it's like I scratch it out at church.
It strikes. Yeah.
But the funny thing is we got to church that Sunday,
Mm-hmm.
and what does Pastor do?
Mm.
Take a look at what I put in David on David, where I talked about Psalms 51.
Yeah, Psalms 51. Repentance, come humble and obey.
Yeah, guess what? That's what he talked about on Sunday.
That's called confirmation.
Yeah, and we talked about, when I went to discipleship class, we talked about some things that went along with that as well.
Mm-hmm.
But basically, if you look at the Adam portion of that outline, the first portion of that outline, I want to talk about what God had intended, as far as a relationship with Him, and it was supposed to be a dominion relationship where we are as caretakers, and he comes down in the cool of the evening and talked with his people. He would come and talk with his people, but when sin entered, that was I don't want to say done away with, but basically man severed that connection, and God had to come up with another plan.
Right. Mm. Okay, man. That's
all I really want to talk about that, because I haven't really written it all out. I haven't even started to write it out, but I did just tell you about part 1.
There we go. Okay, I'm with it.
So you guys take care. I hope you enjoyed this. The Cubs did beat the Reds. The 2016 Cubs beat the Reds 2-1. Griffey got a home run, and the Cubs, via a Rizzo walked, Soler got a single, sending Zobrist to third, and Russell got a base clearing double, and those were your runs for the Cubs, and that all happened in the 8th. And the good point for the Reds is that Nolan got like 10 strikeouts, and Foster had the home run, but it wasn't enough to win the game. You all take care. Have a good evening. And next time out, I will be doing Fast Drive football. And my next FC Cincinnati replay game is not until around August 20th, because the next MLS soccer game for FC Cincinnati that counts will be against Columbus.
Okay.
Will be Columbus Crew versus Cincinnati, and that is an away game. So until then, guys, you take care, and we'll be looking at Fast Drive football season 2. We're going to be doing the conference championships next time out. So take care. Oh, I did play them, but they don't count. I did play them offline, but those offline results will not count. I'm going to see if they actually compare to the online results. Thanks for showing up, Darrell. I appreciate it. You're a great guy.
No problem. Thank you, sir.
We need to talk offline, of course.
Oh yeah.
But yeah.
Okay, we'll talk.
Darrell, you do Christian videos, right?
Yes, sir. They're on
so
YouTube.
guys, do me a favor and sub to Darrell's channel.
Yeah.
He does great Christian videos. He has great
Yeah. Thank you.
content.
Thank you. Yeah. YouTube, Instagram. I'm everywhere.
We were connected through writing
One of
class
our writing
we both
coaches.
took, and he was like, we were hooked up as like mentors, writing partners together.
Yeah, writing partners.
And
Yes,
as a result, we never really lost this connection between us. And I'll tell you, he's a great friend, guys. And,
thank you. Same to you.
And he's every bit of what I want to talk about in my book. He's man of valor.
Thank you.
Who excels, and
Thank you.
he's got great confidence in that, and just keep it up, man.
Thank you. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Yes, sir. See you later.
See you.